Hey everybody, Boris with BK Forex. Welcome to the crosses section for July 17th to July 21st of 2017. A couple of really interesting ideas, some that I think are not intuitive in some ways, but really play off what I think are the relative weakness and the relative strengths of various currencies that we're seeing right now. My first idea of the day is actually Kiwi Yen to the short side. It looks to me very toppy, and I'll tell you why. First of all, Kiwi is the least strongest of all the calm dollar currencies, and of course yen is been under heavy pounding because of low U.S. Yields and just low bad U.S. data. So if there's continuation on the yen sell-offs, on the yen cross sell-offs, this one seems to me the most vulnerable to the downside. Even if the yen stabilizes, I think the Kiwi itself seems ripe for more of a corrective move. So both ways, I really like this to the short side with resistance at 83.50, support 8,200. There's quite a lot of room here for a downside move. Euro pound at this point is just simply a pure momentum move to the pound. This is the, you got to respect the strength in the pound breakout trade. I don't have a fundamental catalyst here. As a matter of fact, I think I'm fundamentally negative against the pound, but the fact that it broke out so strong, so hard on the close, and the fact that Euro pound at this point looks extraordinarily weak to the downside. The one thing that could flip this around is if ECB is resolutely hawkish, but they may not be. They may see Euro at 115, and Draghi may actually be a little bit more dovish in his testimony this week, which would, of course, only add to the downside momentum. For now, though, 89 to the upside is the resist. Support nowhere near until 86, so there's just a sort of an air pocket of drop here. We took out the former resistance that was current support now, and therefore I think presents a very interesting trade to the downside. And the last trade is just momentum trade to the upside. The relative strength of the Aussie also has to be respected. Big breakout in Aussie Kiwi. Even if we have a little bit of retrace, it still very much looks to me like a buy to dip story with potential all the way up to 108. Let's take a look at the charts here and see what I mean. So let's start with my Kiwi Yen first. And you see this very, very clear 83.50 resist point here that's been basically building since the start of July. Very, very small corrective move here on Friday, but I definitely think there's potential here for us to move to the downside. This was the big move in the Kiwi the day before, and we've exhausted ourselves, and I feel like the Kiwi really doesn't have much more upside to go. So any kind of a corrective move in the yen cross is certainly going to be felt on the Kiwi side to me, and Kiwi yen is the most vulnerable of the yen crosses to the downside. The next trade, Euro pound here. And you can see the 3 days of downside momentum. A little bit leery, of course, trying to sell so much negative strength at this point right now, because you could be in the danger of sort of clipping the bottom and then a bounce back. But a bounce back here still connotes very much a downward trend here. On the other hand, the kind of momentum we saw in the pound doesn't really seem to stop overnight. I think the kind of move here, you can see when Euro pound just takes a trend, it has a lot of continuation. Even if there's a couple of pauses for 2 or 3 days, it has a lot of continuation momentum here. And this type of a trend to the downside, very, very indicative of this trend to the upside. A strong move that could extend for more than just 3 days, potentially all the way down to 86. As you can see, this is the support area here. Beyond that, above that, there's really nothing here to support it. Perhaps maybe 86.50. So there's quite a lot of ways to go to the downside here. So I really like Euro pound to the downside. And the other very obvious momentum trade here is the Aussie Kiwi. Look at this massive breakout here. We took out the 106s. That was a big resist point here. There's sort of a former support here at this 106.12. We took that out. That becomes, that was former resistance that now becomes broken out. And we have the potential all the way out to the 108s on Aussie Kiwi. Add to that the fact that it's made a very, very strong W bottom here, nice rounded bottom. It's a classic formation of an upside move here. And you really, if you're looking at momentum trades, you got to just love this one because it feels like it has more to go here. At very minimum, at least 50 to 75 pips into the front of the week. So that's how the week shapes up. I really like these 3 trades. I wish you guys the best luck, the best of trading. Let's see if they all work out. Boris, over and out.